Hello everyone, good morning. It's time to start the day. Grab your coffee, your favorite beverage, shine your light and light the way.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. It is October 23rd, 2024, and it is time for your Good Morning Coffee and Talk. I'm Dolly. This is the Wolf Girl Oracle, and I am so glad that you guys are here today. I want to say good morning to a few people. Bright and early was Katie. Good morning, Katie. It's good to see you. And Flowing, I'm always happy to see you, my friend. Fatima's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Blessings to you. I am so happy that you guys are here today with me. It is a cool day today here in Wisconsin. Early voting started yesterday here in Wisconsin, and although I didn't go yesterday, I'm going to go tomorrow. The whole family is going tomorrow to vote for Kamala. And I'm really excited about that. I'm excited to get this process started and to do my part and get going here. Good morning, Shanita. Shanita, good morning. How are you, my friend? I hope things are settling down over by you and things are getting better. So tomorrow I'm going to do my early morning voting my early voting, I should say, not early morning. I'm going to go after Rick gets out of work. I'm excited about it. I just want to get this process done and over with. Honestly, I want to get beyond this election season so bad. I am so tired of the whole thing. I can't even tell you. Oh no, Shanita says nope. Oh, my friend, my sweet friend, what can we do? How can we help? Let me know, please. Katie's saying that she slept like a rock last night, and so did Koru. That's good. That's good. I know having a kitten can be a challenge, especially at nighttime when they all of a sudden have some crazy energy. Oh my gosh, Jenny is here. Good morning, Jenny. I missed you so much. I'm so happy to see you. I'm so glad that you're not working nights so that you can actually come. We missed you, my friend. I am so glad that you're here. I am so glad. So, I don't know about you guys, but for the last 2 weeks, especially, right up until now, right up until today, the energy in the collective has been the best way that I can describe it. And please, nobody be offended by this because I'm just looking for words to describe what this feels like. But I would have to think that this must be what people who suffer from bipolarism, what it must feel like for them. Because I have felt in the collective some incredible highs, some crazy lows, followed by another incredible high. I mean, it's just like a woo, woo, woo. I am really looking forward to after the election where things get closer to the middle, hopefully. But it has been nuts. It's just been nuts. And it's making me not sleep very well. I protect myself. I know I'm not feeling the full brunt of what this feels like, thank goodness, because I don't know how I would function if I had to feel the full brunt of it. But it still affects me at night. At night, I get these waves of energy coming all over me, and it's been rough, man. It's been rough. I haven't been sleeping well. That's why I haven't been doing readings on Sundays. I'm just exhausted, like all the time. And I just wanted to calm down. Flowing just wants it to calm down too. And Shanita's saying facts, and Katie's saying absolutely. So I'm glad I'm not alone in this. I'm glad, I hate for anyone else to suffer. I wish I could take on the burden for everybody, but man, it's been rough. But I'm in good spirits. One thing about me is you can't keep me down for very long. I believe in the control that I have over how I feel and how I think and how I act about anything that's happening around me. It can get a little crazy when you're being bombarded, trying to just stay even keeled and in control of what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what I'm doing. Sometimes that can get a little hard. In fact, last night I snapped on Chrissy, and I feel so bad. And it was over something really, really stupid. I mean, we were laughing about it this morning, so I mean, everything's fine. But she walked up to the door. She was looking out the door, and she's like, "Hey, I see something walking around out there, but I don't know what it is." And right now we have a lot of our landscape lights turned off so that we can, because we have all kinds of Halloween stuff going on outside. Okay. So the landscape lighting is off, so it's harder to see what little critters are roaming around out there. And she's like, I can't see what it is, though. I can't see what it is. I grabbed my flashlight, and I'm like, well, where are you looking? Where are you looking? She's like, right there, right there. I see something right there. And I'm like, well, let me get in here so I can see. And she's like, right there, right there. And I'm like, honey, I can't see. You're in the way. And she's like, but it's right there. I'm like, will you please move? So I can see what you're seeing. And she's like, ugh, well, I'm just going to bed. And she just like took off. And I was just like, oh, I'm like, I'm sorry that I snapped like that, but it was like, I am communicating what I need, but you're not hearing what I need you to hear, but everything's fine. Everything's fine now. Good morning, Kaylee. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Jenny says, hey, Dolly, did you get my email about a place called Rapid, Wisconsin? They're thinking of sending me there. Rapid? Wisconsin Rapids? Is that it? Well, that's interesting. Well, if you go there, I think that's, definitely a doable like day trip. I can meet with you and we can do lunch or dinner or something. I would love that. That'd be great. That would be good. I would love that. Yeah, so let me know, Jenny. Yeah, I'll check my email. I did not see my email, and quite frankly, I've been avoiding my email the last couple of days because I'm getting bombarded with political stupid stuff. I spend like 20 minutes just deleting from both Republican and Democrat. I don't know. Everybody wants me. Normally, that's maybe a good thing, but not with this. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning. Teresa, that we do not take attendance. It's fine. No need to apologize. I wanted to tell you guys another little story here. I've been thinking about the flow a lot. Actually, I've been thinking a lot about the flow ever since Katie did her live stream yesterday. I started asking myself questions about the flow. Like, when did I first have an experience that I could say, like, helped me get into the flow? Maybe not put me there, but started getting me thinking along those lines. And I was just thinking about it. And you know what it was? Back in 1997, my father passed away. After the funeral was done and we had him buried, Rick and I jumped in the car and we just drove. We just drove. That's what I needed. I needed to drive. I needed to get far away from the situation. I needed to clear my head. And we just drove. And we ended up in Wyoming at the base of the Teton Mountains. And I remember getting out of the car and looking up at the mountains and thinking to myself, they're so big. They're so solid. They're so ancient. They're unmovable. This stone. And just being in complete awe as I'm staring at these giant mountains, and they're beautiful. They're just, if you've ever seen the Tetons, they're just gorgeous. They're just a gorgeous formation, like some of the prettiest mountains I've ever seen, And after having that little aha moment about how small I am compared to so many other things in the universe, I then had a revelation where I was like, wait a second here. I am the mountain. I'm the mountain. I'm the mountain that chooses to be a mountain. I can be unmovable. I can decide what I'm thinking. I can decide what I'm feeling. I can decide um, to not allow external things to cripple me. And then today, before I started my live today, Shanita was on and I watched her video, and you guys go back and watch her video. Go back and watch the replay of her video from this morning because it was just outstanding. And I'm like, yes, Shanita. Yes, 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 yes. All our job is in this world is to do the very best we can. If people decide to receive it, that's awesome. If they choose not to, not my problem. Nothing that I have to feel negative about myself for. If we offer up joy and love, assistance, if we give freely of ourselves in a unselfish sort of way, just give of ourselves, and people choose not to receive that, that's on them, and it's nothing that we have to feel bad about ourselves for, right? That keeps us in the flow. So Shanita, thank you. You were amazing today, and Katie, of course, you were amazing yesterday too in your live. It was just it was like validation for me, both of those things, that I'm on the right path in setting strong concrete boundaries for myself, and allowing myself to think and feel and act in a way that is mature and selfless, but self-preserving as well. Not being a doormat. Being a doormat isn't good. So anyways, thank you so much, you guys. I so very much appreciate the things that you bring to me. You guys really bring so much richness to my life, and I appreciate that. Good morning, Gina. How are you, my friend? It is very good to see you. I am so glad that you're here. You're working. Gina is working and Gina is lurking. Yeah. Okay, let's read an affirmation card from Affirminators, because I love the Affirminator deck here. And the next one in line is follow your heart. I'm always rewarded when I follow my heart. I trust that the GPS in my heart knows all the best routes. And when it seems like it's taking too long to get where I want, I know that's because there's some cool, weird stuff along the way to see. Follow your heart. And that's a heart, and it's on a surfboard with an umbrella. How nice. Oh, yes. Good stuff, you guys. Good stuff. And, I was talking to a friend yesterday about spirituality. Have any of you ever had conversations with people who don't consider themselves to be spiritual or don't know what spirituality is? Have you ever had a conversation with somebody like that where they were curious but maybe a little dismissive? Katie says, you follow your heart and you come home with a baby kitten. Yay! We love baby kittens. Let's see. I'm going to go back here and make sure I didn't miss anything. Katie says, other people's choices are never a reflection on you. That is right, girl. Amen. And Katie says, but yet the Rockies are some of the newest rocks on Earth. Yes, they are, but they're still so far more ancient than me. But are they? No, they are not. My soul is eternal. So my soul is as ancient as eternity. How about that? Because if you think about it, you guys, this always, I think I've talked about this here before, but something that just makes my mind go is when I think about how we often think about our time now and the eternity forward that we have to look forward to, but we've already existed for an eternity. For an eternity. How long have our souls been riding the wave? So if you see the smoke coming out of my ears, that's what that is. Oh, Gina says, did you get a fur baby kitten, Katie? You got to tell Gina about it. Teresa says, I love it when I have conversations with some non-spiritual people and they realize that what I'm saying makes complete sense and they didn't know it was spiritual because it wasn't religious. Boom! I was waiting for somebody to say that. Thank you, Teresa. That is the difference between religion and spirituality. Religion is an organized group of people, like-minded individuals who believe in a certain preset set of values and ethics. And spirituality doesn't necessarily, you can be spiritual and you can be religious. I know many people who are both. But spirituality is that open embrace to experiences that we see as sacred and transcendental and alive. Spirituality is a living, breathing thing that is in motion, you know? Whereas religion sometimes isn't. Sometimes it is. Sometimes different religions evolve with what new fundamental knowledge that is presented to them or through transcendental experiences, you know, but a lot of times it does not. It kind of just, this is the set core in a box of rules. I'm not good at being in boxes. You know, I'm not good. First of all, I'm claustrophobic. I have a hard time in the elevator. I get in the elevator and I'm like, hanging on. You know what I mean? I don't like closed in little spaces like that. But yeah. Flowing says, yes, he kind of skipped over the part that I was spiritual. You are so spiritual. Katie says, his name is Koru, which means growth, adventure, peace, and harmony in Japanese. The symbol is the spiral. That's perfect for him. Spirituality is a verb. I agree with that so much, Teresa. Yes. Viviani, good morning. How are you? It is good to see you. Thank you for stopping in, Viviani. You rock. Katie says, I can't even find the box. I love that. There is no box. I had one, but I lost it. That's awesome. But Teresa says the cat is in the box. No, the cat is not. Katie, okay, funny story. Katie's got this big, tall box that, you know, she saved for Koru to play in. And that didn't hold him for very long. Oh, that's so funny. So funny. Everybody's saying, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Katie's saying, Teresa. I do not have coffee this morning. Flowing said, my soul doesn't fit in any box. Mine doesn't either. Mine does not either. I just slip on through if somebody tries to put me in a box. That's just not my jam. I know some people find comfort in conformity. I do not. I do not. I do like being a part of a group that practices things that they believe in, you know. But like, you know, with my Fellowship of Northern Traditions, one of the things that I love about it is they're so armed open to many different beliefs and ways of practicing what they believe. So every time I go to a gathering, it's a whole new experience with people sharing what they do, and I have come home from every single gathering that I've been at with new practices for my own spirituality, for my own beliefs. And I love that. Katie says, I've been shown the box, but I do not conform to square corners or squares. Right. There are no right angles in nature. There is nothing shaped like a box in nature. And I think that that's because as things grow, they expand out, and you see that on the most microscopic level, all the way up to like the size of the universe. There's this like expansion that's almost spherical in everything, from plants, us, from little embryo to a couple little cells to an embryo to a baby. We're expanding out. Everything expands out. There's this expanse, right? So how could you be put in a little box? Jenny says, we are born to stand out, not be locked in a box. I agree. And everyone in this room agrees too, I believe. But I want to make something very clear, though. If you are a religious person, if you are somebody who gets comfort and strength through your religious faith, that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. I have nothing against that. It's not what I choose for myself, but in a way I do. It's just that I'm not normally walking into a church to worship, the great divine. I'm walking in nature. That's where I see, in the complexities of things, in the complexity of just a leaf, in the complexity of an eye, all the evolution that had to, all the things that had to go right for this to happen is just mind-blowing to me. So when I'm out in nature and I'm feeling that flow through nature, that flow that can only be experienced out in nature, that is a experience of faith for me, So yeah. Let's see. Gina says, square pegs, round holes. Yep. Fogo Pogo says, it only annoys me if you're forcing it down others' throats. Yeah, that it's an unfortunate part. Well, I shouldn't say unfortunate. It's a part of the Christian belief system. Jesus called his followers to spread his word, right? So when people come to you and they're talking to you about Jesus, if they're just talking about Jesus and talking about their faith, don't let that offend you. The only time it offends me is if somebody uses the words, you are going to hell. That's when it becomes personal and I take offense to it, But if people are just discussing their faith or why they believe what they believe, I'm okay with that, Proof of God, everything, right, Teresa? Jenny says, we all have the right to choose. Yes, for sure. Katie says, interesting conversation we're having about things growing from the center out. I just watched a video on a new technique for resin art where they use urea in it to grow crystals from the center out. Oh, interesting. That's cool. I like that. And that's totally on the same lines here. Let's see. Kaylee says, I was raised Roman Catholic and no more or less practicing paganism, but there are so many parallels. I feel like I can still go to church and celebrate that way. Right. No, I totally know what you mean. Because I have gone, Rick's side of the family is Catholic, and anytime there's any kind of like wedding or holiday or something, we'll often go to mass. And yeah, I feel that it's that ritualisticness of it that I like it actually. Um, I say God, but I could just as easily use other words. Right, right. It's just like, I think it's just one of the easier ways that we can, it's one of the things that we were taught to grab onto when we want to, discuss like a divine power, right? Is God, is the word God. The blessings of the wine and the bread, the Eucharist. Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shanita says everybody is going to hell here in the Bible Belt. Going to be a lot of surprised people. Right. Oh, my grandma. My grandpa was a pastor when I was little. My grandma when my grandma would get mad at the clerk at the grocery store, she would be like, "Oh, they don't realize it yet, but they're going to hell." I think back on that now and I just giggle, but she was being serious. Oh, funny, funny, funny. Flowing says, I hold many parts of my Catholic upbringing as very special without it pending me. Yeah, yeah, I know. I feel the same way. I didn't grow up in a Catholic church. I went to a fundamental evangelical free church. And I mean, it was part of Christmas, it was part of the holiday season. It was vacation Bible school, which I always thought was really, really fun because we sang and we made crafts and I was with all my friends. You know what I mean? Um, and then, youth camp and stuff like that. I learned how to ride a horse because of church, because I got to take equestrian classes through, a person who went to our church had horses. So I was able to go and do that and learn how to put a saddle on. And I mean, there's all these great things that like came out of me going to church as a child, and it was great until it wasn't, um, not being straight has always been like something that was heavily frowned upon no matter what church I tried to go to, unless it was like a Unitarian church. There just wasn't that acceptance there, and that hurt my heart. It hurt my heart to think that Jesus, I felt like Jesus didn't love me because of this unexplainable attraction that I have to women. I felt like I was going to hell and that nothing that I could do outside of celibacy and trying to shut my mind down was going to save me from that. You know what I mean? That was what, I mean, I don't believe that now. I don't believe that now at all. But at the time when I was 18, that really tore my heart apart. And for a long time, I just had nothing to do with any kind of God because I thought, well, if this is my only experience and I'm going to be spending eternity in hell, I might as well enjoy myself, right? Because I can't turn off who I am. I can't choose to do something else. I can't. So, yeah. Anyway, there's that thing. Katie says, we create our own hell. They never tell you that in the Bible. Yeah, that's so true. We do create our own hell. And Fatima says, that is true, Katie. No one can judge another person. Only the Creator can. That's right. That is right. I learned how to approach strangers and asking them if they knew Jesus when I was in a cult, when I was in high school. Oh my gosh. Good morning, Kelly. How are you? It's good to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming. And don't worry about being late. You guys, I don't care about that. Just come and go as you want. As the spirit moves you, we're in the flow. That's all that matters. We're in the flow. So don't worry about it. Sheeta said, Dali, that had to have been one hell of a journey. So glad you made it to the other side. I almost didn't. I almost did not. I tried to kill myself in high school. And I mean, I think about it now and it gets me emotional because I think about all the things I would have missed out on had I been successful. And this is something I'm still working through, my shadow. This is like a shadow work thing that I'm still working through and haven't recovered from this completely yet. But I tried to kill myself, and the person who found me was my cousin Ann. My cousin Ann. And 20 years later, my cousin Ann killed herself, and I wasn't there to help her. So there is she didn't want me there. She didn't want to be helped. She had made up her mind, and I can relieve myself of that guilt because it was time for her. But it still hurts, and it's still something that I struggle with. Anytime I think about it, I survived because of her. So yeah. It was rough. Kaylee, what did you say? I'm glad you're still here, Dolly. I had a teacher more or less save me. I credit him with me still being here. I found out later Raphael was working through him the entire time. And you know what? I feel like that with Anne too. I feel like there was some divine guidance behind her finding me, because the way that she found me was so out of the ordinary, so unusual, so random, and so bizarre that the only thing I can think is that there was something divine guiding her to me. So, yeah. And I didn't tell you guys the story because I wanted like hugs and hey, I'm telling you this because it's important for people who aren't straight, or for people who are not in a majority. Okay, that little digs and the constant pressure of trying to conform to what is right or what is acceptable is sometimes impossible. I can't choose who I am. People of color cannot, hey, I'm white now. You know what I mean? People who are of a different religion than somebody else, like Muslims or Jews or Hindu or Buddhists, they're not going to just, okay, I'm Christian now. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense here, Dolly, I'm sending your young baby girl self love through space and time. I completely believe we can heal our past selves with love. Yes, and that's what I'm trying to do. Trying to do the whole give myself a hug and put my arms around that young woman who suffered that trauma, and just say, hey, look at where you are now, look at how this actually kind of helped develop who you are, that kind of thing. Keely says, Raphael is now one of my main guides. That's awesome. And Flowing says, Dolly, I love you. I love you too. I love all you guys. I more than you guys know. Flowing says, I work with Raphael too. Awesome. Job wasn't done. That's right. We got work to do. Sheena says, preach. If my grandpa could only see me now. Teresa says, girl, you can and should tell us if or when you need hugs, because that's why we're here for each other. Aw, I do understand what you meant, though. Oh, I love you guys. Kelly says, Dolly, I was in a fundamentalist church growing up, too. It was very difficult. Yeah, it was. I mean, there were times where it was easy, and there were times where I was just like, what am I doing here, And why are these people so hateful when they're calling themselves Christians? And Jesus was here with so much love. I mean, he loved the world so much that he outstretched his arms. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't understand. I did not. Katie says, an angel in the suit of a security guard that turned my thoughts around in the hospital. He was wonderful. Yeah, that's right. He saved you from suicide. I love all of our differences. That's the most beautiful, our differences. I agree. Kelly says, yes, indeed. Give your younger self the love you did not get in the past. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Katie says, I work with all the archangels. I would not be here without them. Yes, you do. Every time I turn around, you're telling me about a new angel, but now I have my angel books. I'm actually learning about them myself now too. Jenny said, differences are what make us unique. It also helps us understand each other. I agree. I feel like the differences are important. We all don't have to go out and be a part of each other's culture. We don't have to assume that. All we need to do is respect each other. Just respect, and look for common ground, right? Everybody is born to a mother. Everybody bleeds when they're cut. Everybody suffers, people dying that they love. Everybody experiences great moments of joy and crushing moments of sorrow. We all experience these things. We have so much more in common than what is different. And yet we always seem to gravitate to what's different, right? Why do we do that? Why do we do that? Fling says, everyone I pass is a teacher for me. That's right. Teresa Ford says, Gina says, this is why community is so important. You are all beautiful. You all are a beautiful lifeline for me. Thank you all. I agree with you, Shanita. That's exactly how I feel. And Teresa says, we're all sparks of the divine. Yes, we are. We are. Kelly says, exactly. Katie says, we are all teachers. We have messages to share to make this a better world. That's right. We're all teachers. We're all students, and we have to make sure that our ego doesn't get in the way of allowing us to be taught. I know I've had that problem in the past. When I was in my 30s and I knew everything, when I was in my early 30s, like 30, 31, I knew everything. I knew everything. And I did not allow myself to be taught. And anybody who tried to teach me something, I got very angry at and took it very personally. And I'd be like, what, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm a child? Do you think I know nothing? Well, I'll have you know. And now I think back on that and I just laugh at my ridiculousness. Oh my gosh. That is why we are here to help and support each other. I agree. This is our mass, loving each other. Yes. Love and light. You betcha. Fatima. You betcha. All right, let's play the questions game. How about that? Do you guys want to do a couple questions? Here's a hard one, but I feel like we should talk about this because I feel like in the next few weeks, we are probably going to be faced with this challenge, okay? And I think you guys will see where I'm coming from. What is the best way you've found to deal with criticism? What is the best way you've found to deal with criticism? Kaylee says, we're all walking each other home. Oh, that's such a beautiful, I love that imagery. I love that. And Katie says, I really do rely on you all for better energy. I feel you even when we are not together. Thank you all for being you. Oh, Katie, that's so sweet. Thank you for being you. Yes, even me as a novice, I learn a lot every time. I learn a lot from everyone I watch. Yeah, me too. And I always will. I'll never know it all. I think in our youth, we believe we have to attend every disagreement we were invited to, but we don't even have to value other people's opinions that are barbs sent to harm us. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you. You just need to, right. Everything should be approached with discernment. And that way you're not putting yourself into a position to get hurt, But I think that most people always want to help. But the problem is some people want to help in the way they want to help instead of helping you in the way that you need help. And that's the difference. And that's why before you try to help somebody, your first thought the first thing out of your mouth is, how can I help you? How can I help you? And if you approach things that way, even if you don't agree with the way that they feel like they need help, you're still assisting them in a loving way, right? Unless it's the helping is going to hurt them in some sort of way. I feel like we should always give that to people first before we decide, how we're going to help people. I'm just saying. Shanita said, I just love and adore you, Katie. Please reach out whenever you need a shoulder. Aw, that's so nice, Shanita. Not taking it personally. I used to a lot. Me too. Flowing says, just don't listen to it. Yes. With criticism, sometimes that's all you can do. Katie says, first consider the source. That's right. And that's really important, Katie. I feel like that's really important because if somebody who cares about you and loves you comes to you with some constructive criticism or something that they see from a viewpoint, from their perspective, they're not doing it to hurt you. It's not personal. They're just giving you what they're just telling you what they're seeing from their perspective. And that really opens up the opportunity for you to, if you want to, explain your perspective. And then a conversation gets started. And that's a good thing, at least I think so. Fatima says, best not to fight the person. Tell them how you feel and walk away. Right. Jenny says, I found myself pulling away from political readers. Yeah, me too. That energy is so weird there. For those of you who watch political readers, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I just personally can't handle it right now. So I'm not doing that. Yes, the source is very important. You got that right. Shanita said, that was my day yesterday. Someone said something insensitive and my insecurity ran with it. It effed up my whole day. Oh, well, you know what? We're going to just fill you, Shanita, with good stuff today. Number one, you're a really good writer. You're really good at it. Two, your heart is wide open and your heart, it just beams out of you that you love people, that you want to help people, and that you love yourself, and sometimes you just need a friend like all of us in this room to throw our arms around you and give you a big, strong hug so that you can remember just how amazing and wonderful and lovely and beautiful and cool and funny you are. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of move past it. You had your moment, and we're all going to have those moments, right? We're going to have all of us are going to have those times where we're like, and that is okay. What's not okay is if you cling to it and you turn that into your focus, right? Don't cling to those things. Let it rise, let it fall, and let it go. Thank you all. Please feel free to come and visit me in South Carolina. Shanita will make pancakes for all of us and bacon and maybe deviled eggs. I'm like on a deviled eggs kick. Yeah, you don't want to be around me right now. You know what I'm saying? Lonnie B, good morning. How are you? It is good to see you. Jenny says, I put it on Saturday night, Petty Boots. I ended up falling asleep even if I watched the replay. Yeah, I think it's kind of rehashing the same stuff over and over and over again. I think right now the best thing to do is just allow things to happen, But I mean, it's okay. It's okay if you get charged and energized by the whole excitement of the political season. If that's your jam, that's great. Just understand that somebody at the end of the day is not going to be happy when this election is over with. And we have to be the mature, the bigger people, the people with our arms wide open saying, hey, we're all Americans and we love you. You know, whether we win or, and I say we meaning Kamala or that guy over there. Depending on who wins, I mean, somebody's going to end up being hurt. And we all have to stay big and strong and realize that no matter what happens, things will pass and we will get through this because we're Americans and that's what we do. So we're going to be okay no matter what. That said, if that guy over there wins, anytime he does something, I'm going to be like, and you voted for him? No, I'm not going to be petty. I'm not going to be petty. Katie says, since I voted, I am really not interested in the details of MAGA anymore. I am moving on. That's me too. You know, for most of the year, I was pretty glued to what was happening politically, you know, on different places. I'm one of those people who like watches everything, not just liberal leaning stuff, but the right wing as well. I want to know everything. I want to be able to base my opinion on everything. So I kind of like look at it all and then figure out where the truth is. You know what I mean? And I haven't been for the last couple of weeks. I just haven't. It's hard to avoid when it's like on YouTube, on the radio, on television, on every social media. We're being bombarded with it right now. The best place to go right now is in the backyard on the patio with a book, because that's the only way I can avoid it. I will move to Toronto. I'm going to go to Paraguay. I'm going to go where it's warm. You can go to Toronto. I'm going to go to where it's warm. No, Paraguay isn't all that much warmer than Paraguay is a lot like here, actually. Summers are hotter and warmer or wetter. That made me laugh. Thank you, Kelly. Like I tell people, a woman can't mess it up anymore than a man, and all the presidents have been men. Right. For sure. Kelly's like, we have so many buildings going up in Toronto. We will make space for you. There you go. I want to visit there. I want to go visit. I want to go visit you, Fatima. I voted already. I voted already too. I think it's time to just find other things to do. Right on. Agreed. Katie's going to go to Kittenland. I'm going to go there too. That sounds great. Oh no, the world is falling apart, but we've got kittens. Yay. I love kitties. Thailand. I will move to Thailand. Oh, that sounds interesting. That's a place I've never been. I'd like to. Jenny's thought about going to Canada herself. For sure. You sold me on the tropics. Well, first we'll go to Canada and hang out with Fatima for like a couple months. And then we'll go to Thailand and we'll hang out there for a couple months. Not during the monsoon season. Yeah, you know what? It has been it was in the 80s and 70s all weekend. Yesterday it was like 68. I think it's 68 right now. And that is very unseasonably warm for Wisconsin. So I'm feeling it. I'm feeling you there. You're in Ottawa though, right? Yes, you are in Ottawa. Yay, kitties! Don't bomb my kitten. No, don't bomb it. It is warm here in South Mississippi. Ooh. I would go somewhere cooler with low humidity. Yeah, where would that be? Where would be a cool, low humidity? Maybe northern Chile in South America? Or central Chile. I got a spare room. Rock on. Yeah, in the summer. Yeah. She has an Airbnb right next door. There we go. Katie will go to any island in British Columbia. Lots of space to hide. Yeah. Lots of trees. It was unseasonably warm when Jenny was in South Dakota. Oh, yeah, stupidly cold. Yeah, well, we get stupidly cold here in Wisconsin as well. It really does. It gets crazy cold. Oh, my gosh. But not in the last 10 years. Like, in the last 10 years, we might have like a day where it's below zero or 2 days, but we used to have weeks of below zero weather, and we don't get that anymore. Flowing's in Illinois. She's used to the cold. Well, Flowing, you're close enough. We could do lunch too. We should do that. We should do that. All right. I'm letting the day get away from here. We only did one question. I haven't done any readings, so I will do a collective reading for everybody. I didn't get to do one on Sunday, so let's do what is the rest of this week going to be like for a spirit? Angels protect us. Spirits of the land in my home, the land vitir and the husvitir, surround us, and ancestors, please give me wisdom. What do we need to know for the rest of this week, Spirit? Please, thank you, and I love you. All right, let's see what we got for the rest of the week. What do we need to focus on, you guys? Lottie B is in the UK, and they have lots of cold weather. Cold, rainy. You know what, Lottie B? I was in West London, North London. I was in London. This was probably back in like 2003, I think. 2003. And while I was there was a tornado. Right where I was. The wind was whipping around. Me and my friend were like, what is going on? And we ran into a building, and it was raining and thundering and lightning and all around us. And then it was gone. And, we went out, we walked around by Parliament and, London Bridge, and saw all the touristy things in London that day. And when we got back to our hotel, which was up in Banbury, the chick behind the counter was like, yeah, there was a tornado down in London today. And I'm like, oh, was that what that was? Hi, warrior girl. Good to see you. All right, this is what we got to look at for the rest of the week. So this first card is the Ancestral Force. The Ancestral Force. Completion. The Ancestral Force. Completion. And let's clarify that with a tarot card. Warrior Girl says, is it just me or Mega really getting ramped up? I've just had 2 family attacking me for the past hour. It is, and I think that that part of the collective is feeding into itself. It's like they're blowing fire on their own flames. So yeah, you just have to kind of just be filled with grace and solid strength, and just walk away. Say, you know what? Until this election's over with, we're going to have to agree to disagree, because all of our minds are made up now. There's no more to this. And then for the clarifying card, we have the Star. And this is hope and miracles and like hope and miracles and energy, like positive, infinitely positive energy, and so between these two, between the ancestral force and the star, what I'm feeling is when you get into situations like Warrior Girl was just talking about, lean into that ancestral foundation, that stuff that's in your DNA, that is eternal, that goes back into time so far that you can't even see the beginning. Lean in on that, because this is just a moment in time. Everything that's happening right now is just a moment in time on the path of our eternity. Okay. So when you put this tiny moment in time into perspective and you realize, yeah, right now it feels and it feels so important and it feels so life-changing and like everything depends on this, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't. It really doesn't. No matter what happens, the sun's going to continue to rise. People are still going to have babies. People are still going to be born, live, die, reborn, live, die, reborn, live, die. This is a cycle that is unending. It's eternal. And this little moment here is very, very tiny compared to the whole rest of things. So when those people, Warrior, I am so sorry that happened to you, but man, when those people are coming at you like that, just try to keep in mind that everything that they're doing is based on fear. They have such strong fear in their hearts. And that fear is building rage out of frustration, and they're scared. They're scared. And when they're lashing out what seems like at you, what they're actually doing is lashing out at themselves. So try to keep a gentle heart for the people who are in that fear and in that pain, and know that we love you. You can always come here and we will wrap our virtual arms around you and give you a big hug, Warrior Girl, because we love you. We care about you and we want you to be okay. All right. You're with like-minded people here and we care. We care. All right. I'm going back here. Flowing no longer speaks to her aunt and family, which I love because of, yeah, I've got some of that going on too. So sorry, but I needed good vibes from y'all and to know it's not just me. I have lots of good vibes. I have really good vibes because I'm leaning on Kamala's joy and love and forward thinking. I'm really leaning on that energy that she's portraying. But I'm also leaning on myself, right? I've got a good solid foundation. You all do too. So hang in there, you guys. Hang in there. I am so I know that we're gonna be experiencing, especially over the next couple of weeks here until the election, we're gonna all have times we're gonna be like faced with that, But just remember, it's just a small moment in time. We're all gonna be okay. Yeah. I'm so sorry, Warrior Girl. I do not talk to some of my family, unfortunately, due to them being MAGA in the MAGA cult. Yeah, same here. Everybody's sending you prayers, love, blessing, light. And like Katie is saying here, we need each other. Yes. And yes, try to remember that they're in a cult. They are in a cult, And if he doesn't win, that cult will be incredibly agitated for a while. And we have to be careful. We have to be careful in those moments. We have to be armed, open, and loving in those moments, because they're not going to, reason isn't going to work for a while. I don't know that I've been to Brookings. I like Newport for the conveniences and that most of it is above the tsunami zone. It has a hospital. Yeah. Yeah, that's my only fear with like the West Coast, especially the islands on the West Coast, is tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanoes, all that stuff over there. But it's pretty rare, thank goodness. Flowing. Yes, my niece is having my great nephew at the end of January. Yay! Babies! Babies! I love them. Just not in my house. Oh, baby. It starts to cry. Oh, I need to smoke. The old per diem. The old per diem has its believers kicking and screaming as it dies out. Yep. I wish we could find a meeting point for us all to meet up and enjoy one another's company for a weekend. I would love that. Maybe we should like try to set something up for next year where we all move to a central location where everybody's kind of coming the same distance and we meet up and take over like an Airbnb or something and just have a wonderful weekend of fellowship and prayer and spiritual practices and drumming and chanting and singing. And we could get Shanita to do maybe some of her sound healing, which is bring her big gong. We can all stand in it, or her big bowl. We can all stand in it. She can hit it, make us all go, shake all the negative energy out of us. All right. Paradigm. Yes. I think I knew what you meant, paradigm. Yeah, we could talk to Sonia, right? Now that she's a travel consultant, maybe she can help us hook all that up together. Yes. I know it's just virtual, but we still have a face-to-face. That is true. Yeah. I mean, this is the best that a lot of us can do. You know, none of us are rich. At least I don't think any of us are rich in here. And, you know, we don't have unlimited amounts of money that we can just like drop down and do whatever. But maybe we can make something happen. You know, I know that like when we do our gatherings with the Fellowship of Northern Traditions, you know, we pay for our own travel expenses. So we're either driving or flying to wherever we have to go. But once we get there, you know, once we get to the Airbnb that we're taking over for the weekend, it's maybe $50 a person, you know, so it's really doable. And then everybody chips in and we all like bring food or we'll go, you know, we'll get there, we'll pool our money, we'll go into town, we'll buy a bunch of food, plan the meals, you know what I mean? And it's really fun. It's really fun. I can't drive that far. I can't either. But we could probably put together some kind of retreat. This is something once we got our Discord up and going, which will hopefully be the next week, Tuesday, for Katie's show, because that's going to be I think that's our Halloween show, right, Katie? We're doing next week, Tuesday. Is that when we're doing our Halloween show? Because that's the 27th. Let me look at here. Or 29th. That's the 29th. So it's the day before. So I don't know. We'll have to, Katie and you and I can talk about that. But I'm hoping to have, by Halloween, have the Discord up and running so that you all can join the Discord and we can have discussions like this. We can have a retreat discussion and just try to figure out something that we can all do together. So we'd have to somebody will have to drive up to Canada to get Kaylee and Fatima, put them in the back of the van and hide them back there and bring them over the border. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? That would make great YouTube. All right, we're in Canada right now in an undisclosed location. And we're picking up 2 undisclosed people. And we're going to smuggle them into the United States of America for an illegal weekend. And then I can hear like, Kaylee, hey, I got to pee. And I'd be like, there's a bucket back there. did my mind get here? Oh, well, welcome to the Wolf Girl Oracle, where it's all kind of spiritual, but nothing is very, very serious. But I am serious about doing a retreat. I think that would be great. I think there are so many of us in our little community here who could bring something to the table. You know, we could have different people leading different things, you know, and have it kind of free flowing with a few scheduled events throughout the weekend. And it would be wonderful. Have bonfires every night, play our drums or whatever instrument you decide to bring, as long as it's not a flute. No jazz flute. But everybody could bring an instrument or something. We could play around the fire, you know, until the cops come. Unless we're out in the woods somewhere and we can play all night long. But yeah, that would be great. We can howl with the coyotes. That would be great. So, all right. Well, it is 11:03. Actually, it's 11:06. So I need to. It's become a spy movie. Yes, we'll have to have like really great theme music then too. And that's when the flute would kick in. All right. Well, anyways, I love you guys. I hope you all have a great day. And I will hopefully see you guys this weekend. Hopefully I'll be able to get a reading in this weekend, but I'm not making any promises because with the energy being as weird as it is, I'm still, even though I'm deeply spiritual, I'm deeply connected. I have great conversations with my spirit guides, and I have all this going on. I still sometimes have problems with protecting myself against the waves of energy that are hitting me. And if I don't feel like I'm even keeled, I do not do a reading. I don't think that's right. So anyways, I love you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you all again soon. Mwah. Let me do my end song.
Thank you for coming to my show. I'll see you all next time. You all rock. Dali loves you. Dance around the room. It's time to go. Why are you still here? Dali needs a sandwich and a nap. I'll see you next time. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for coming. I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Thank you for coming to my show. I'll see you all next time. You all rock. Dali loves you. All rock. Dali loves you. Dance the room. It's time to go. Why are you still here? Dali, you still here? Have a great day.